Hello. Welcome once again to another edition of Quoth Raven, Lewis Bright Raven. I'm your host, Lewis Bright Raven. I'm slightly over to the left today on the screen, so you can see a little bit more of the artwork that's behind me on the wall, if you can even make it out. And also, I got this lovely box right here that we'll be unboxing shortly after we get our reviews done. But first and foremost, let me invite my co-host, Chris Hall.
Hello, everybody. How you doing? Welcome.
It's a crazy day.
It has been for you.
Yeah, I've been like all over the place for errands that I didn't know I was going to be all over the place for. So I was like, oh, okay. I thought I was going to be gone for an hour. I was gone for 5.
A little bit unexpected.
Yeah. So that kind of screwed up my whole schedule. That's why we're late tonight. If I've been on time. Oh, well. But we're here now.
We're here now, and we got some good stuff for you.
Yep. So let's go ahead and get that ready and have that screen shared. Our first book of the night for reviews is Apollyon 20XX, Volume 1, Live Not by Lies, trade paperback for $25. Publisher is GodFoe Universe. Writer is Daniel Evans. Writer is Josh Adams. Genre is post-apocalyptic science fiction, horror, heroic fiction. It was released at some point in 2023. I didn't find an actual date of release because it's one of those crowdfunded, you have to buy it from the creators themselves type of books. So I'm not sure exactly when it's out, but it was in 2023 originally. I just got it last week. What it's about: a powerful group of elites known as the Order have manipulated world events for centuries from the shadows. Now, in the near future, this Order has created God, a machine capable of influencing the minds of the world's population. But Zero, the prime candidate for the God Project, has escaped and rallied with him a small band of young, like-minded augments. Together, they seek to end the Order before God can be completed, and the world brought to its knees. What did I think of this? Well, I've seen and even written this genre trope before plenty of times. The characters are slightly one-dimensional, but this is the introductory graphic novel, and so I will wait to criticize that point until I've read the second book, which I do have. I just haven't gotten to it yet, and see if and how the characters evolve. It's not like they didn't evolve in this story so much as there's a lot of background and world building trying to be told, and some of the characterization will get lost in the narrative, when you're trying to build the world and explain how things work. Mm-hmm. This is also an issue when you're trying to give enough space for 7 or more characters. As you can see, they have 7 characters on the cover there. That's, you've got a lot to give. So, not really looking to criticize or knock the writer on this yet. There's a lot of societal and political subtext in the story, but it's not about the creators presenting a message to the audience. It's not woke so much as it is a contextual component of the world build for the story. Now, could it go into that woke territory? Sure it could, but I'm not sure that's the direction that the creators intend. I do think that they're more generalized and not specifically citing anything for that are relative to current events or in the real world per se. If anything, I would say this book has more in common with the general societal and political ideology themes that Frank Miller put forth in Dark Knight Returns or Give Me Liberty. And that's not a good or a bad thing. It just is what it is. Josh Adams' art is interesting. It's a black and white with gray tones book. And there are a lot of pages that I felt were a little too dark that hurt the overall aesthetic of his art, that he lost certain visual components from time to time because of how dark the pages were. But I do see an overall path of improvement as in his work as the story progresses, and that's important. Again, I haven't had a chance to read Volume 2 yet, so let's just wait and see where that goes. So far, however, I'm giving this book a 3 out of 5.
How many pages is this?
Oh, it doesn't say, but probably around 180 to 200.
Okay, so just for the price, you're getting a lot of pages for that price.
Yeah, it's a thick book. But let's take a. You'll see what I mean where I say it gets a little too dark. You lose certain things, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, but very nice. So, nonetheless.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah. Overall, the story is pretty strong. I'm not this. But for at the same time, you can see where some of the text being all black and white and then inverted against black can be a little bit hard on the eyes.
Yeah, sometimes it can be hard to read.
Yeah, and it would be interesting if this thing got colored, how much different it would be visually, dynamically. And next week, we're going to review another book by this company that is in color, I believe. Let me make sure before I... yeah, it is in color. So we'll get to see the difference because it's the same creative team. It's just a color book. In the same universe, just a different story. So it'll be interesting to see that difference. All right. Of course, Chris didn't get a copy of this one yet, so we'll wait and see what's going on. And he's just being entertained and chewing away. No, he's diabetic, folks. Both of us are diabetic. We got to have our food. We need to have it, unfortunately. So apologies for that. But anyway, let's go ahead and go on to the next one, which is one of yours, Chris. Oh no, it's not. I thought it was yours, but I forgot. I put one in before yours. Cryptology number 4 for $10.95 from TwoMorrows Publishing. Writers and art various interview historical review magazine for 13 and up, released July 24th, 2025. What it's about: the cryptologist throws open his putrid sanctuary as acclaimed illustrator Alex Ross regales us with the gory lowdown on his Universal Monsters paintings. Tim Leese and Hammer Time then take us face to face with that studio's classic film Brides of Dracula. Mark Vogler puts the horrors of 3D movies from the 50s into focus, and editor Peter Normanton literally brings that era's 3D comic books to life with a mini history complete with a 3D story reprint. From there, we embark on a journey to discover the early origins of blood-curdling slasher movies as a prelude to the macabre pre-code work of Atlas's Bill Everett and ACG's 3D maestro Henry Lazarus. Plus, another Killer Bee movie awaits courtesy of Steve Cronenberg, as does Cartoon Creepiness by Pete Von Schally. And they've got other articles like Bernie Wrightson and James Herbert articles and stuff. So there's all kinds of stuff in this macabre crypt full of the macabre, prepared especially for retro horror fans. What do I think? I think TwoMorrows is the best company alive for doing these kind of magazines. Absolutely great stuff, great interviews, fun topics being discussed. The 3D comics articles were something I hadn't seen a whole lot of talk about. That was different. Of course, you're talking about Bernie Wrightson's fanzine years. You're going to see awesome stuff there. If you don't know who James Herbert is, he's the British version of Stephen King from the 70s. Good author, should check his stuff out. Just a frightening feast for your senses. And if you are a horror magazine fan or horror genre fan and you haven't been getting this magazine, you are sorely missing out. 5 out of 5 stars.
Wow.
And I've got that here. So let's go ahead and show that. And this is Bill Everett's work on Venus.
Love Bill.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's an article on that. Both science fiction and, straight up like horror.
Right. That was Bill Everett that did the infamous cover of the girl with her head chopped off, right? On the was it like an EC title? That was one of the reasons why they got.
Hold on.
If I remember correctly,
I'm not sure. Let me think here. I'm not really sure. Because I know what you're talking about, but I can't think the name of the covers. The name of the book the covers from is Chamber of Chills, maybe. I'm not awake. All right. They're not enough for me to remember. No, that wasn't it.
It was Crime and Suspense Stories. And no, I don't think that was Everett.
If I can find it. That's the thing. Let's see, it's number 22. And it's not Everett. That's Johnny Craig.
Okay.
I was like, I don't think it was Everett, but
I just the artwork was similar, so I just kind of
all right. But anyway,
brought that to my mind.
Yeah, okay. We gotta get to the rights and stuff, though. I mean, well, actually, let's look at the 3D real quick.
Are those actual anaglyph like 3D?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep. Very cool.
Yeah, they actually show it.
Well, let me get my 3D glasses on here.
But you got them right by you.
Yes, I do.
Let's see. Come on, get them on. You slow poke.
Well, I don't know where my open ones are.
Oh, so he's got to open a whole new one. The cat's wearing them somewhere, right?
Probably.
Well, when he's got it, let me know when you got it there, dude. You're just.
I'm sorry. There we go.
All right, now you're ready to.
All right, here we go. Oh yeah, look at that.
Can you see
Very
it?
Cool. Yeah.
All right.
Very cool.
Yeah, there's a few images like that in here, but not that one. But just general talk about that. Hold on a second there. Here we go. Whoop, that's not. There you go. Nice up close with the glasses. Let me see if I've got where another one is. They've got them. Because I got a bunch of the old ones in here, but they're not with that particular look. No, not there. Okay, but anyway, fanzine years of Wrightson.
Oh yeah, gotta love Wrightson. Such gorgeous work. I'm not sure if I like Bernie better colored or black and white.
Depends on the work and who's coloring him.
Yeah, that's true.
But this is like, his early stuff. Pre-pro, as he puts it. So, it's just fascinating to look at some of that stuff. I mean, this is his, this Headless Horseman.
Right.
I guess it's headless. I don't know. Yeah, it looks like a Headless Horseman to me. But that's painted, so, back in the day. But anyway, wonderful book. Obviously, you should get this. It's only $11. Come on, Chris, you gotta go buy a copy.
Joey says, "Oh, the picture of Death Splash. What type of color scale?
What color? What the picture of Death Splash? I think he's talking about the 3Ds.
Oh, that's called an anaglyph, Joey. If you're talking about the 3D.
He meant picture of evil. This? Yeah, this is called, say that again?
It's called an anaglyph.
Anaglyph, yes.
And that's just the technical name for like the old-fashioned 3D.
Yeah, and there's like 3 or 4 layers on top of each other, slightly separated from each other for your RGB effects. So they get the 3D effect. Okay.
Yeah, anaglyph. Yep.
That's correct. All right, our next book. There you go, Chris.
All right, this is Dark Pyramid number 505, $4.99. Publishers Mad Cave Studios. Writer Paul Tobin. Artist P.J. Holden. Colors Sarah Colella. Lettering Taylor Esposito. Cover artist is P.J. Holden. Editor is Christina Harrington. Genre sci-fi, supernatural, horror. Release date July 30th, 2025. Teen plus. What it's about. The riddle of the Dark Pyramid is solved in this issue. Not really, but the monsters get their revenge. The mystery of Hookie's disappearance is revealed, and Becca makes some unexpected allies.
And boy, does she ever!
Oh yeah. What I thought. What the ever? Are you getting me? This has to be the dumbest ending to a story in the history of dumbass endings. I don't see what the hell is the point, or what the point of the whole series was after this issue, because it just makes no sense. A series where I had been, reasonably enjoying this up until now. I feel like the writer, just said, screw it, I'm done. Nothing in this issue made any sense whatsoever. Completely ruined the whole series for me. I would like to go rate the writer over some hot coals for this. $25 investment into this. This is why fandom gets so disgruntled with the creators in the industry. Let me tell you, thoroughly disgusted with this.
Yes, you were. Oh my gosh, this is me toning it down for him. He was mad. Folks, he was mad. And I read it too, and I was like, yes, very dumb ending to the series. All the running around, evading all of the military leader Cho's forces, only to deliberately confront them at the end and say you'll join them to avoid being killed.
Yeah. Then
and it's like, not only is it what was the point, why would they accept you joining them? We've been chasing you. You've caused me numerous of my people are killed because of you. Why would I want you to join me? I'd like to just end you. It makes no fucking sense.
Exactly.
5 issues of setup to say they created a team of weirdos to guard and hide the pyramid all over again after you discovered it. Creating a team doesn't resolve any of the conflict of the story. And you ask, why did you spend $25 on this? For the whole storyline. You feel like you got ripped off. At least,
yeah. Sorry, Matt Cave, you dropped the ball with this one. I mean, this could have been a really, really cool series. It could have gone in any number of cool endings, but they chose the one they did. They chose, we're just gonna we'll join you and we'll form our X-Files team of weirdos to go and it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know what the point of it was, but
it was her, Hookie, the Hote, which is a goat with a human face, and the big Eve demon alien thing. Yeah.
And it was the two women, and the thing of it is, the what happened to Hookie was he knocked out another guy or killed another one of the soldiers and took his uniform and was playing in hiding amongst the
soldiers. Yeah.
It's like, what?
And then all of a sudden he just shows up and be like, surprise, it's me.
Yeah, it's like, no. But anyway, Chris gave it a -2 for the issue. I give it a 0. And this ending is so bad that this series will be getting a 3.5 to 4 from each of us. This ending cut the whole series down to a 1 star. That's how bad this issue was. I'm sorry. But we're not even going to bother showing the book. It's not worth it. So our next book is Kaijus and Cowboys, Volume 1 trade paperback, which collects issues 1 through 6. Publisher Cambrian Comics. Writer Matthew Blair. Artist Frankie B. Washington. Letterer Mike Stock. Genre, sci-fi kaiju monster adventure. Released mid-July 2025. I got mine on July 22nd in the mail. What it's about. Doc, a humble maintenance bot on an alien planet overrun by kaiju monsters, is our narrator and working with his fellow robots to create a world for humanity to live on and thrive. Unfortunately, it's a world that's also inhabited by all sorts of terrifying monsters that threaten Doc and robots everywhere. Fortunately for them, there's another robot known only as the Hunter who wanders the planet, fighting the monsters and looking awesome while doing it. But this planet has its own sense of existence, and no matter how badass the Hunter is, the planet can make kaiju that even he can't handle, at least not on his own. And so the journey begins to find answers on how to stop the kaiju threat once and for all. But are there any to be found? What did I think? This story is very much what you might get if you were crossing Pacific Rim, the movie series, with the kind of stuff that Jake Smith does in Blood Force Trauma and Robo-Wolf. Washington's line art is much more bold and thicker than Smith's is, but they both tap into that same kind of kinetic energy and color palettes to make the art leap off of the page and smack the reader in the face. Whereas I think Smith is the more technical artist who has a more knack for detail and nuance, I think Washington and his color palettes are just so in your face that it's equally as powerful. The story by Blair is interesting and engaging. The Hunter is very much in the same vein as The Man with No Name from the Dollars trilogy, from Sergio Leone's Dollars trilogy of films with Clint Eastwood, but there's a martial arts comedic side and a funk side to the character as well. That is very 70s blaxploitation type hero vibe going on at the same time. And that's because Washington's the artist and that's who he brings to the table, or if that's how Blair intended it or what, I don't know, but it works. Fun read. Probably we'll have to go through it a couple more times just to look at the art without worrying about the script, but this is some really sharp work going on from this team. I give it 4 stars out of 5. Let's take a quick look at the book. This is a very tame visual design for the cover. When I talk about the color, just very bold, clear.
Yeah, and they know how to make it work too.
Here's one of your Kaijus blowing up everything.
Yeah, the separation and just the boldness of the colors are just really nice in this. And like I said, they know how to make it work. They know how to make things pop. So really nice.
Yeah, I'm loving this stuff though. There's your hunter. He's got these weird looking dreadlocks that are like cables with the ends with the jacks. I think that's interesting, and just really interesting designs.
Got some fantastic onomatopoeias there.
Yep. So just really fun stuff. Let's go a little bit back into the.
And there's not a lot of dialogue here. It's a lot of just badass beat 'em up, monster fights.
Yep. Fun book to look at. Very enjoyable. All right, let's see what we got next. It's one of yours, Chris.
All right, this is The Pale Knight, numbers 1 through 3, $4.99. Again, publisher Mad Cave Studios, writer Peter Milligan, artist Val Rodriguez, colors Chris Peter, lettering Dave Sharp, cover artist is Nick Marinkovich, editor is Marla Isaac. Genre dark fantasy horror. Release date May 28th, June 25th, July 30th, 2025. This is a rating of teen plus. What it's about: England, 1349. Sir Hugh de Grey, the Pale Knight, returns from war to find a land ravaged by the Black Death and his son dying of the plague. When he prays to God to save his son's life, it is not God who answers, but Death himself. And Death is willing to cut a deal. So he makes a pact with Death, the life of his son, in exchange for Gilbert the Pure. But his quest to find Gilbert leads Sir Hugh through an England that's descended into a phantasmagorical dance of death. Meanwhile, fake magician Aaron of Albi begins a dangerous love affair. An innocent called Alwina is to be burned as a witch. Sir Hugh must save his son from the nightmarish dance of death. Aaron of Albi seeks plague toxin from the bubo, which is a pustule that he squeezes, nasty stuff, of a corpse. There is madness and poison in the air and in the hearts and minds of men. So this was a very interesting read for me. I wasn't sure what to expect. I started reading through and thought, it's just, about knights in Great Britain during the Black Plague. I thought it might be kind of dry, might be kind of boring, but it's about a knight that lost his faith who just wants to go home and see his wife and child. You there? Oh, I think we lost Lewis. So anyway, he goes home, and this is about he's lost his faith. And he's got this squire that is he's got a very sharp tongue, doesn't know when to keep his mouth shut. And for squires, that's not a good thing. Accompanying is his snide and passive aggressive squire who doesn't know when to shut his mouth. I like when they finally get back home and how the wife and son were depicted with rotting flesh, using boils and all. Great visuals. The idea of this knight looking for a pure person amidst this world of crazed, dancing, zombie, bubonic plague people is just so wild and different. The cover art for the series, and Nick Marinkovich, is fantastic. The interior art is decent. But what truly holds my interest is the story is unique, or at least not something that immediately makes me think of some other concept or story as a reference.
I agree. And sorry about that. Yes, my internet cut out for a moment there.
Oh, that's okay.
Anyway, Peter Milligan is doing a really interesting story here. And I agree with you. The cover art by Nick Marinkovich has been doing some very high quality work. The interior art by Val Rodriguez, I think it serves the story well. And it seems like he's influenced by classic medieval artists, stuff like Hal Foster and Al Williamson, but it has a Spanish European flair to it. Christine, I know I put it Chris Peter because that's what they said on one chapter, but it's Christine. It's a female colorist. I think she does a lot for the interiors. There's a lot of openness in the art, and I'm not sure how successful this book would have been if it was black and white with just the line art. I think the color really pulls the work together. You were not quite of the same opinion.
I actually think I was doing a little deeper dive into the art, and I think the art would have been better in black and white because I could see the detail in his line work.
Mm-hmm.
And the color scheme, well, I get what they're doing. They're going for a very drab, like almost monochromatic color scheme for a lot of it, which is to depict that gloomy, dreary Black Plague England.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought that kind of took away from the art.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. I wouldn't say it's monochromatic, but I'm because there's
almost
there's different layers of it, but yes, there's certain specific, very pale, very very subtle color change, but it's all like a whole page might be all of a certain type of tan. You are someone that doesn't like that when they do certain things that are like sort of monochromatic, but they're not. You've had that complaint with Let This One Be a Devil,
mm-hmm. Right,
and other things. So I think that's just a consistency for your preferences and taste and coloring, and that makes sense. I think the reason I say it pulls it together more is because when I look at just the artwork, black and white, it feels not incomplete, but just a little bit too open for me. Given the level of detail his line art does have, it's like, give me something more with the background. Give me something more. Don't give me this huge open spaces that he does at times.
Right.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think we're both have a valid point on that. And we both give the book 3.5 stars.
Do we have artwork from this one?
I don't. Do you?
I didn't think about getting any. Let me see if I can pull some up here real quick. Just so they can see what we're talking about.
Sure. Let me go ahead and cut the share then, because you're going to want to share yours when you get there. Come on.
I mean, some of the pages are very nice.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Just go to the page where we can look. Just go down the screen.
Let me see here. There we go.
All right. Like, okay, everything here you see is that very greenish to yellow background, and then you've got your kind of even the trees are kind of yellow, and there's a reason for that. They're trying to just show you that sickly feel of the landscape and what's going on.
Right.
But there's a kind of a how do I put this? Let me see. Can you blow that up at all?
I can't. No.
Oh, okay. Because I can't either. All right. So, well, let me see if I can do it this way. No, it doesn't change. All right. I see a lot of different things going on with the color gradation in the helmet in panel 2 and the facial
Right.
like growing hair. I don't know if it's facial hair or just shadow or dirt.
I think it's facial hair, but I could be wrong.
It could be either or. But it's done in a certain way. It's very European.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And I like that. Whereas if this was done in an American coloring style, it would be massively over-rendered. And you would really lose what fine line art and cross-hatching he's got in the art if they did that.
Right. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It pulls his line art together. Let's go ahead and take this one off and use this one.
So, this is a gorgeous page.
Yes, I love this page. And he's every panel you can see she's using the purples to do the foreground.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
On all 3 panels, there's a purplish face, and then the knight has the whitish shades against and then you got the flames. I kind of wish she had done something a little darker on the cape. I mean, you see it's there, but against that orange flame,
right?
And it's kind of weird. She wasn't consistent because he had the. I don't know if this is Edwards, right? This is the lead, right? Not the choir. So I was like, why doesn't he have the red front cross? I think he had the red front cross on the previous page, but I could be wrong. So there's little things like that, but those are things that the editor should have picked up.
Right.
But this is some really nice stuff. And I kind of like how he had the angle on this pitchfork. Notice how the pitchfork is kind of curved.
Yeah, the tines bend back. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's how it should look, but most people would have drawn those like straight up.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, this guy knows, this guy's paying attention to what he's doing. The horse is beautiful rendering as well. I think the cape, the draping on the horse is a little weird, but other than that, just really nice stuff.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Now this one's a little bit blurry, but
oh shoot! All right, yeah.
But again, the main thing I don't like here is because he didn't do backgrounds. She kind of went with all orange to yellow in the background. If there's any criticism I would do with the coloring, that would be it. But she's consistent with it. So if that's what the editors and the artist wants, you just kind of go with it,
Right.
That's what you do with that. So, but yeah, good stuff overall.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this book. So far, looking forward to issue 4.
Yeah, so go ahead and remove those so I can get on to the next
one. Sorry.
You're fine.
I got my camera in the way, so I gotta see what I'm doing here.
Oh yeah. But yeah, good stuff. All right. Our next one to share is yours. If it
Alrighty.
There you go.
All right, this is the Toxic Avenger comics, $4.99. Publishers Ahoy Comics. Writer Matt Bohr, artist Fred Harper, letterer Rob Steen, colorist Lee Lowridge, editor Tom Peyer. Additional materials by Robert Jesenek, Joe Orsak, Carl Carafelli, and Ed Cato. Genre: comedy, action, and adventure. Release July 9th, 2025. What it's about? Well, you demanded it, so here it is. A new ongoing series featuring the movie's grossest hero, masterminded by the hit creative team from 2024's Toxic Avenger miniseries. In this issue's self-contained horror story, kids are disappearing from Toxie's hometown of Traumaville, New Jersey. Did they simply run away from the chemically polluted town, or is the real explanation even more frightening? Find out before the new Toxie film hits theaters this summer. I mean, it was okay. It's what one would expect from a Toxic Avenger story. There's nothing here that really like wowed me. I guess I was expecting something a little more, like gory, R-rated trauma. But outside the pendulous, I made sure he put in pendulous, mutant titties. This was pretty tame. The book was it was average. 3. I'll give this thing a 3.
And I didn't read it because I'm not a Toxic Avenger guy, but I knew that this was one of Chris's things, and I thought, well, he'll like that. And to see him only give it a 3 kind of tells me it wasn't a good book, because as hardcore of a fan as you are of trauma,
yeah,
you are a hardcore fan of trauma films. You're, and
that being said, I'm not a fan of what I'm seeing from the new movie coming up either. So
yeah, so I believe that. So there's that, there's that, and here's the thing, I was at the shop today because I was called to come in, and I found this for you.
Ooh, nice. Very cool.
So there's one thing of yours that's you're going to be getting in the mail soon.
Oh, well, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Now there are, whoops, wrong button. Nobody wants to look up our noses.
Exactly. There's brambles and leaves and shit up there. There's just all kinds of it's just not a pretty sight.
Yeah, it's not. Anyway, but no, it was kind of a weird thing though. But we got kind of shorted on reviews this week because every time I was trying to get something done, I'd have to leave the house to take care of some other business.
I was going to say, Raven just damn near just ran out of time.
Yeah. I was lucky to get what I got done.
Right.
But we got lots of stuff to talk about besides that, though.
It was kind of funny. I'm getting messages from going, okay, 9:30, nope, 10, nope, 10:30.
Yep. He's like, maybe 10:30 tomorrow. Anyway, got some other cool stuff for you.
Oh, the Santos sisters. Yeah, this just really this really intrigued us when we saw it. Did
you know that this won the Eisner for Best New Series this year?
I did not know, but we saw this as an advertisement in the back of another book.
Mm-hmm.
And it really intrigued us. Yep. So we had to check it out.
We found an issue. We liked that, gave that a 4.5. And I guess a lot of other people like it too, because it got an Eisner. So there was that.
Well, how would you describe it? It's like almost Archie style.
It's
art.
It's superhero Archie, Love and Rockets, all blended into one, with a little bit of a bite to it, for lack of a better word.
A little edge.
Yeah, a little edge.
The Magic Lantern. I've never heard of that one.
Trapped in the Chaos Dimension, Magic Lantern. She's got to help her boyfriend who's now become a fly person.
and a junkie at that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I
so
love it.
that'll be coming your way as well.
Fantastic. Thank you.
So those are the kind of cool stuff I found for Chris at the shop this week. But I got bombarded with this little box here. Actually, 5 boxes because Amazon can't ever ship anything in one.
Yeah, he was telling me it could have all fit in one, but yeah, 5 different boxes.
But let's see what craziness we got here. We got the Bannock Surfer versus the Nest Monster, Chapter 1, California.
Is that what the interior art looks like too?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, very cool. Oh yeah, look at that. Wow. Yeah, somebody put some time into this.
Yep. I'm like, this looks cool. So I'm looking forward to reading that.
Yeah, the rendering is gorgeous on that. So
we had Matt Wagner and Kelly Jones on recently talking about Dracula, the Brides. This is the first book of that series, Dracula the Impaler. And this is the Dark Horse edition for the soft cover instead of the hardcover. But let's take a quick.
Yeah, and if you're not onto this book yet, you need to be. This is just 2 gothic masters at their best, doing their best work. It's just phenomenal stuff.
Yeah. I'm just like, now I better not use that because that's not safe for work.
we don't want any Dracula titties.
Yeah, I'm looking. There's a lot of that in this film. This is a definitely an R-rated comic. Let me see. I think this will do.
Yeah, and Matt was telling us, he just kind of let Kelly go wild on this, and Kelly just blew him away with every page.
Oh yeah. I mean, he has got so many different. It's all Kelly, but there are just so many different things that he picks up on from other artists. Whether it's Kaluta, Wrightson, oh shoot, I can't even think of his name. Windsor McKay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Just a whole bunch of different people that are influencing his stuff, all in one filter. Kelly's mind, is the filter, but it's like I see where he got that. I see where he can get that. Like,
right? Yeah.
And he's like, it's not exactly theirs. It's his own interpretation of it, but it's just masterful.
Yeah, and let's not discount the colors, the gorgeous colors on this.
Jose Villarrubia is doing beautiful.
Yes,
stuff.
Yeah. Jose does phenomenal job of complementing and not overpowering Kelly's artwork.
Yeah.
Which a lot of modern colorists, that's what they do. If this were maybe any other colorist, they would have rendered the hell out of it and just completely overpowered Kelly's artwork.
And yet there's places like on this page where you can see the purples to the blues and everything.
Yeah, but it's still very subtle.
Well, it's subtle, but it's not subtle. It actually accents the line art.
Yes, it does.
Whereas, it is overpowering in terms of the image. The color is what really draws you into that page and leads you through the page visually.
Right.
But it's complementary as well because it's and part of it is the layout of the page. You go from top left corner over to the right with the big head down to the thing, and then it's just all there in composition from the line art that Kelly gives you. But Jose understands how to take that color line and draw you from top right corner to bottom left corner and over.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And a lot of colorists wouldn't have a damn clue today how to do that. they just it's an image. You gotta make every image look the same or whatever. But
Has to be rendered to hell.
Yeah, we got all kinds of cool stuff in here. We've got Convert from Image Comics. This is John Arcudi. This is a science fiction series that I'll be reviewing here. We got Something Crawled Out. This is from Vault Comics. This is like a summer camp horror type thing. I don't know.
Which surprised me that you would pick that up.
Small Midwest town of Welling Grove, Edith Eddie Miller has no grand plans or great prospects. She spends her days sleeping in her nights working shifts at the local rest stop. But when her younger sister fails to come home, Eddie unearths a web of missing girls and rotting bodies. The police prove useless, so she has to team up with her best friend, Rainer, in a desperate hunt to find her sister. The only thing is, Eddie believes her best friend might be the devil himself.
Yeah, this looks really good.
So I'm like, yeah, that's the fun thing. And I'm going to show a little bit of the art in here just so that I'm going to tease Chris a little bit more.
Oh, yeah. Gorgeous art.
So, I mean, it's that kind of a thing here, but...
And you got that this was a Kickstarter?
This is something I got off Amazon.
Okay. Well, I'm
this,
gonna
is
have
to, this is from Vault Publishing.
I'm going to have to do some shopping.
Guess what? We have Remote Space from Image Comics. This is Cliff Rathburn.
Yeah, this is another one that looked really cool.
Yep. The year is 2450. Earth is dying. It's always dying.
Of course.
The human species has gone down two different evolutionary paths. One that's cybernetic augmentation, and one that are left behind have to adapt to the worsening climates. And of course, our lead character is augmented. So, yeah.
So basically, we have cybernetic augmentations and like mutants.
Yep. Now for all the heavy stuff. Oh boy. I went crazy on EC Classic hardcovers. The whole Fantagraphics set here. This is The Thing from the Grave from Joe Orlando and Other Stories. So that'll be all cool horror stories.
Yeah, great format though.
We have Wally Wood, I believe. Yes, Wallace Wood, Came the Dawn. And Other Stories illustrated by Wallace Wood. So there should be fun there. We have Voodoo Vengeance, which is Johnny Craig.
Yeah, these guys were just masterful.
Yeah. And we have, if I can get the book out here, Planetoid and Other Stories by another one by Joe Orlando. But I just love the design of the aliens.
Mm-hmm.
The praying mantis people, whatever.
Right. Yeah, very, very cool.
Yeah, so this would be really fun. And what I'm going to end up doing with these is I'm going to start doing a themed review where you guys, I'm just going to review each one of the hardcovers from EC that I've got, because I've got 8 or 9 other ones that I've bought, and each one of them has 8 to 12 stories. So I'm just going to take a week, like I'm doing with manga, but I'm going to do it with the EC books on a different day. Might even be Wednesdays. We'll see. But we'll wait and see how long that takes me to get it all set up. But that was my boxes. That was crazy, right?
That was some good looking stuff, man.
Yeah. So, and of course, you got you got cool stuff coming for you as well. So
Absolutely, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, which reminds me, you've got a whole other box to start talking about at home.
I do. I got to go through that.
Yeah. So we can talk about that, and then you can actually show books.
I can, yes.
Yeah. But it's kind of a crazy thing. And where's John? Somebody asked where John was. John's working on his theatrical stuff again.
Right.
And I don't know exactly when he's back. I think he's got another week or two, but he's going to be gone.
But, he works hard for his money, so hard for his money. He works hard for his money, so you better treat him right.
Okay. What are you drinking over there? It's not. I didn't know you were doing karaoke hour yet.
Yeah. Coming soon. Quoth the Raven karaoke.
Oh God, no. Anyway, so I haven't looked at what's actually coming in next week from the distributors because we got so much already for next week to review. We've got our Guardians of the Last Dragon, Biofal Kolga, the Murder Podcast, The Cold Open, Comic Creator number 39, Eerie number 2, and again, I just showed you the Vatic Surfer Nest Monster. We're going to review that, and we got Heavy Metal number 2.
Very cool.
My stuff. I don't know what you're going to get. You're going to have to tell me.
I will find some good stuff.
Yeah. And then tomorrow, we're going to be talking about the documentary Mike Mignola Drawing Monsters.
Yeah, and this if you love documentaries, this is a great one. It goes through Mike Mignola's life from, when he was a kid with his brothers and his influences, and just really, really good stuff.
Okay. So that's the whole show for tonight.
Were we doing the other one too? I thought we were doing the other one, or were we saving that for another day?
We're going to do that one animation film as well. There's the Hellboy animated film, right?
No. There was another documentary of that we were talking about doing.
I don't think so.
A new one on Tubi.
I don't remember.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, we'll save that for another week then.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about the 5 or 10 minute short there for Hellboy.
Oh, well, yeah, we're going to watch that one too. So
yeah. So there's a 5-minute short from Hellboy animated that we'll show as well. But anyway, we're just going to focus on Hellboy. But that'll be tomorrow. And then Monday, we'll be back with the next talk of Dinosaur Sanctuary for book 2 of that series. Barring any unforeseen craziness that's going on.
Right.
Where's Captain Midnight? Captain Midnight is sleeping on the floor over here. He's been having a rough week. Turns out his health has taken a little bit more of a turn for the worse, and he's going to have to start taking him to the vet every week now for treatments. So we'll have to see where that goes, but we knew it was going to happen eventually. So
right. So send your thoughts and your meows for the Midnight Monster.
Yes. But it is what it is. Alrighty. So if you have questions, comments, recommendations for us to review, comics, television, film, whatever, Facebook, Lewis.BrightRaven, at Twitter, at LewisBrightRave2. You've been watching Quoth Raven, Lewis Bright Raven exclusively on YouTube. To see more of my artwork, you go to deviantart.com/BrightRaven if you want some Chris's colors, other than just this one image of my artwork here on the Raven. Go to deviantart.com/fatboy73 and email me at quotheravenlbr TwoMorrows72@gmail.com. And if I don't get back to you, try lewisbrightraven@yahoo.com. And this Saturday, what do you got going on over at Glass House Throwing Stones?
All right. So this Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at Glass House Presents Throwing Stones podcast, we have Dave McCaig, colorist extraordinaire. He's delved into animation. If you're familiar with Batman Dracula, he worked on that, and plus the Batman series. And he is a bit of a culinary expert as well. So we're going to be talking about all that stuff, along with some portfolio reviews and maybe even some Fantastic Four talk.
Have you seen it?
Not yet, but I think I'm going tomorrow to see it. So,
okay. So in other words, if you go in the afternoon, right?
Right.
Because you can't go in the evening too easily. Oh man. But anyway, yeah. I know you saw Superman.
Yes.
And that you enjoyed that thoroughly.
I did thoroughly enjoy that. Yes. There was very little criticism about that movie.
Yeah.
And apparently go ahead.
I've heard that from a lot of people that FF is actually better than Superman.
Right. Yeah. Well, Superman is doing some amazing things as well. Like, it's not only is it doing good in the box office, but it's actually apparently getting people in the comic shop asking for Superman comics. Mm-hmm. And because of crypto, pet adoptions are up.
Interesting.
So it's doing some really good stuff out there, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm glad to hear that. Joey, if you're in the chat, have you noticed an increase there at the local comic shop about people asking for Superman since the movie came out?
Yeah, that'd be interesting to get it from the horse's mouth per se.
Yeah. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm sure it does to some level of extent. It's interesting because I go in looking for specific things.
Right.
And not that I don't like Superman, it's just not on my radar right now. The versions that they're being made don't really appeal to me. And I haven't seen the movie because the characters, DC as a whole has been kind of, interesting. So he says he hasn't seen it, but he doesn't get those type of questions as a rule. That's true. He's more usually in the music side of the store. So
fair enough.
Yeah. Or if he's working on keeping stock moving. So he's not at the front of the store being asked usually. So that's fair enough. But
hey, increased comic readership and pet adoptions are up. So that's a great thing.
Yep. So, alrighty then.
Yeah, in the back getting music questions.
Yep. That's what I said. He's usually in the back getting the music stuff, but yeah, which is cool,
Like, why don't you have any dead Kennedys?
Well, why don't you give me yours? I'll give you something else instead. Just give me yours. I'll give you this.
Right.
But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much the show, folks. Appreciate for watching as always, and we'll see you next time tomorrow at 8 p.m. Barring any craziness tomorrow. Oh gosh.
Apparently, Joey's gotten that question.
But anyway, we'll see you next time. Quoth the Raven. Nevermore.